Hello there and welcome to SunkenLand version 0.5. This game has changed from before, so if you're watching like earlier versions of this game, lots of these islands have changed. I don't know why he did lots of the reworks in this game, but just so you know, for the older players and maybe the newer players, lots of these outer islands are now different. The underwater stuff in this game is still going to be the same, and that's how this game works. So the function of this game is when you start it, you start near Castaway Island, since we're starting. And all around it is going to be like level 1 areas, and this is underwater areas right here. So these are just all underwater areas to explore, and then we go over to the islands and stuff like that. And as you make the circles outer, bigger and bigger on the circles, and your radius expands, that's going to be like different levels. So you go to level 1, then you go to level 2 areas, and then level 3 and 4 and so on to all the outer areas of this map and where these things are. And it's going to be harder and harder, and better resources also at the end of the day. I have lots of other videos for tricks and exploits and stuff like that. I'm not going to tell you the exploits here because that'd be a spoiler, so I'm sorry about that one there, because I usually put the exploits in the tips video, but we're not going to do that because they are just they're just too nasty to use for some of them on there. It makes the game too cheap, and at the end of the day, and I don't want to spoil it for the people that don't want to use those exploits, and because the knowledge will hurt you at the end of the day. But there is a lot of things you got to do. You're going to make a base right away. The key thing in this game at the start is giving your inventory space up, because inventory space in this game is very small, and you're going to start building that sack right away, because even the 5 inventory space is going to be good. The best backpack right now is plus 15, and that's 3 extra bars right here. So even having that 5 right away is just going to be like a game changer right off the bat. So one of the first things you're going to try and find is a lot of cloth, so you can actually make this little sack right here, and then find recipes in this game with the backpack. Now, each of these little underwater areas is going to have a special vault, which is going to have a recipe. There are other loot areas under there that's going to have recipes too, like cloth-covered boxes, and lockers might have recipes in them too. But the vault is a guaranteed recipe basically, and it's a standard of progression. And all these other islands are going to have that too for your resources on there. But since we're starting on Castaway Island, you're going to want to make a base, because the default on this game is every 2 days you get attacked by a guy. So right at the start, you got 2 days before you get attacked. It's just going to be mutants, and they probably won't have any weapons, but you're going to get attacked, and then they get harder and harder very fast. And then soon they're going to be attacked by 20 guys with guns, and you're going to want a nice defensible location where you can actually take care of them, unless you want to use an exploit and get rid of them, which is probably easy to figure out if you didn't know. Yeah, we're not going to tell you. Yeah. But anyways, gathering the resources and stuff like that so you can build your things. You're going to want to build a boat as fast as possible too. Just any old boat will do, because inventory space, like 10 storage space. If you can't, if you don't have the wooden sailboat, you don't have the ingredients for it, and you do have the stuff for the paddle boat, just make something that has more storage. It will save you so much time at the end of the day. Of course, you want to aim for the little motorboat as quickly as possible, because it has 30, and then all of these other boats only have like 32. And the helicopter is now a recipe you get from your research center, so you don't have to worry about finding that recipe anymore. But it only holds 20 in the storage slot, so it's not really the ideal to actually go around there and loot stuff for the first time. You want a little bit more storage space for yourself. It is tricky to fly at the end of the day, but yeah, we have lots of different recipes and stuff like that in this game for speed and stuff like that. Also, like for your diving equipment, you want to make your diving fins right away and get all that stuff and make your base. But yeah, this here little island, it has like copper right there. It has some iron right here. You can start mining. It's got crabs on it. Right over here in the middle is where you can get some food and stuff like that for yourself. I cut down lots of the trees. You got a lot of sticks are still all over the place. But yeah, you can just loot to your heart's content. Get as much stuff that you can as possible, and then make your way over here to the trader outpost, because that's going to be the best place to make your base at the start of the game, is right on there. You can build right on top of the platforms anywhere you want inside there, or beside it, but the trader outpost is going to be a very key location for you, because you can just buy scrap metal and stuff like that to start building your base, and wood, and sell off the junk that you can find in there, and then get the other resources. Like if they sell leather in there, if you can't find leather, you need to make the other sack in there, just go over there and buy it. It's not too hard to do. Just to sell some of the other junk that you have, or sell some good stuff if you have to. You need that. But yeah, it's going to be around there and finding other stuff. Once you get your base started, you're going to need the other resources like iron, which is going to be the major thing of iron. Is going to be over here on Small Rock Island, very easy island. And no, it looks far away, but this island is very easy. That one's harder, actually. So, yeah, that one's actually harder. But it has lots of copper on that one. This one has lots of iron on it. But you're going to want to go over here to Green Island as quickly as possible, too. There's the trading outpost. It's right beside it, basically. And that's going to have cotton and potatoes for you, so you can start growing your own cotton to make cloth and stuff like that and farm it up there. There's lots of guys on there, but they're not too hard at the end of the day. But that's a good place to start. But, yeah, you're going to loot stuff and get recipes, and how to find the recipes in this game is going to be like one of the key factors on there. See, as you're looking around, you're diving, you see all this nice stuff. You don't have very much oxygen to go with. You want to loot all the stuff. There's the components right there. These used to be an issue, but now you can just loot this stuff and get components out of them. So and you can craft them now too, so that's not a problem. But as you can see, there's like no cloth around here. Like there's no, I can't see any dryers or something like that. So cloth is an issue. Don't worry about these fish right here. They might look sharp and pointy, but they don't attack you. They'll swim very fast after you hit them. But you can kill them just for some meat, and it's decent enough for food, and you can get some skin off of that. But yeah, we are looking for, where is that other, right there, I got it there, I'm gonna mark it off right there, and we'll go underwater and check it out there, see how far we need to be to see it. What we're looking for underwater stuff is the bubbles. You see those bubbles right there? That is where the vault is. So each of these areas in this game for underwater and above ground will have a vault, and that is where you get like the blueprints and stuff off of it. So that's how you find it. So you go down there and you're diving, you see bubbles coming up there, that's where the good stuff is. So you go down there and find the good stuff, and there is the vault right there. So yeah, we could just go here and loot it from the outside if we want to, get some blueprints. You never know what you're going to get. But usually the inner circle islands, like this would be level 2, it says level 2 apartments in the top right. It's just going to have like some basic blueprints on there. You might get a backpack out of it, right? Because you're going to be looking for inventory space. You might go ahead and get that backpack off of that one. Where's the backpack crafting thing? I think it's the tools. Yeah, tools. You might get the backpack recipe off of that, which would be very nice to have, but you need lots of that cloth to get it. Then you can just buy the leather. That's not going to be a problem, but you can't really buy the cloth. And then you can go out a little bit farther and get the military backpack recipe, so you can have that inventory space, because that's a key thing in this game. But let's go check out the trader and stuff like that. This is where you're going to build your base, and this is all you really need to know about this game, is getting these resources at the start of the game to get started. The rest of it is like mostly spoilers and stuff like that that you probably don't want to know. Like now you know what the basics are in this game already, so you know where to go. You come over here to this little place right here. This is your little choke point, so you can build like put some foundations over here, put some walls, put some fences up here. The enemy attacks you, they run into the spikes and die, and the only way they can hurt you is with ranged attacks. And you just gotta be aware in this game the ranged attacks can shoot through some of the walls and under the floors and all that kind of fun stuff that isn't supposed to happen, because some of the stuff is not 100% solid. And of course, and in this game, the ranged are aimbots. They have like a 95% hit rate for their attacks. That's what it feels like, at least. And they just automatically hit you before they can see you. They could be like way the hell over in that little hole in the water over there shooting at you, and they hit you as soon as you pop your head around the corner. So just be aware of that. But there's lots of nooks and crannies on this place, and you can see I have a foundation up right here. I was going to build a nice big base up here, but I decided, hey, no, I'm just going to build it beside it and see how that works, because I wanted to test it out before I built it up here and said how that works. But yeah, you can build up here as much as you want. It'll work, and this is where you want to go to little Trader Joe or whatever her name is. Go over here and buy these recipes and stuff like that. So, and buy all stuff. So this is where I went. This is what I did the whole time, is just sell my junk. Like, there's that junk right there, and I'll buy like stacks of metal and stuff like that. So, because I don't want to go there and farm it all. I wanted to build a big base. But if you're on here, you don't really have to build a big base to defend yourself. Just because you have that one choke point for melee guys to get up on there, so they'll all come over here or get stuck on the sides, and then if they get stuck on the sides, they're target locked on doing nothing, so you can attack them from behind. So there's your defense right there. So the easy defense at the start of the game. Expand it later on if you want. If you want, like the best island to go to, and that's going to be the Eden Island. Way over here. If you don't want to do a base, it's up to you, right? That's why I'm showing you the other options you can do. But yeah, I really recommend going here first for all that stuff, and for the selling, the guns, and all that kind of stuff in this game. And there's Eden Island way over there. It's like totally protected up above ground. There's no ladders and stuff in there yet to get up top there, but it's just a big circle cliffs. Perfect for defense at the moment. But things change. There's lots of updates will change. That island never used to be there. Lots of these islands have never been there before, and most of them have been changed. So this is like a whole new game for people that have played it before and are just coming back to the game saying, hey, all this new stuff is in the game now, let's check it out. out there, and then they're going, like me, they're going like, hey, what the hell is this? Where do I get the iron now? Because they can't find any anywhere. If you go the wrong direction and stuff like that, it's just a big headache at the end of the day. But yeah, we have new guns in this game to update and for that kind of stuff. That's why you want to go over here, and this is where you get the gun parts. So you put your blueprints you've already learned. You don't have to sell them. You can come over here, stick them in this machine, get some waste points. You can start taking apart guns later on once you get the gun machine going up and running. What's the gun machine called? The build over here, the advanced gun workshop. What do you call that thing over here? Get the new electric furnace, repair thing. You definitely build one of those. Steel furnace. Where are you? Gunpowder, ammo, armor workshop. Why is this always the last thing I find, right? Advanced Firearms Workshop. There it is. I had to scroll up to get it. It's at the start. It's not in any order, like research table, then advanced. Put it in spelling order at least, right? So you can find stuff easier. But yeah, get the Advanced Firearm Workshop to start deconstructing your guns and getting the parts, and then the extra parts you don't need, you stick them in here and get waste points. And that's how you get the new recipes on there, because there is a lot of new recipes now in this game for crafting your own custom guns. They do need to do a little bit more work on the custom gun recipes, I believe. Just because I can't stick a scope on my sniper rifle, right? Not a real scope. I want a real scope on my gun, basically. Sorry, I meant only the sniper rifles can actually have the 4x scope. That's why I said that. But I want a scope on my shotgun. I want to customize my guns completely. I want to put a 4x scope on any gun I want, and they don't allow that, which really sucks. But when you scrap the gun parts, you only get the top 6 ones right here for the SMGs and the pistols. You only get these parts right up here. You don't get the bottom parts to assemble, and you got to learn these recipes or get the parts. I have all these parts, but I can craft them myself for those ones there. And then that's how you get the recipes for down here. Basically the only way to get these other things over here, like a silencer for your gun, if you want a silencer or some other special thing on there for it, like whatever this one here, the flame. I don't know what this does, but it doesn't really say. It affects your recoil at least, so it tells you what it does. But you have to get the recipe so you can craft it. I got the recipe for silencers, so I can craft those and then attach them to them. You just there's the mount button right there. That's how you use this new workstation. You just grab the part and mount it once you have it. And you get tons. There's tons of parts in this game because these are some of the parts here. There's the receivers that add damage to your guns now, up to 50% more damage from before. So whatever your regular gun was before for damage, you can get 50% more damage if you get the right recipe off of there or find it. And there's the extra. They don't even have, there's white, they don't even have the actual graphics on there. But yeah, these are the parts that you can sell the extras of or trade them in for the recipes, and that's how that goes. So yeah. That is basically it for the starting guide. The other tips on there is basically, go over that green island there, get all that cotton and potatoes as quickly as possible. Make your base wherever, on the outside of the edge, over here in the middle on there. You can put your platforms as high as you want, but just start growing. Just start growing that cotton as fast as possible, because you're going to need a lot of cloth to make all of these planters. Because the planters is an easy recipe to get, and it takes quite a bit of cloth to start making them. It takes a lot of wood too, so you have to farm a lot of wood. Maybe want to grow some, but yeah, I would stick to cotton as fast as possible and start putting your planters, making cotton, then using that cotton to make more planters until you have a lot. Maybe even more in this if you want to. Just make it as big as possible for all your planters. It doesn't. You can roof it over like I did. It doesn't matter in this game yet for this stuff. And then once you have enough planters, go for potatoes, because that's what I recommend for food. Because once you get the stove unlocked, now you can cook the potatoes on here, obviously, but once you get the stoves unlocked and use that, you can start making alcohol. And this is going to be like the best food right off the bat. It takes one potato and some water, and you get the water, you get your glass bottle back, so it's just recycling the water. So you're just using one potato to make food versus 3 separate foods to make a salad, which only heals you 30. It's only 30. Or a seafood platter, you have to have cooked fish to farm. You got to farm the scallops and farm the roasted crab. No thank you. And that's only for like 100 health. There's no water in that, so that's not really that great. The fish stew is the best one from before. But when you're fishing, you get like 4 different kinds of fish, and this one only needs 2 special fish, and they have to be cooked. So you got to cook these things and then cook it again to get the actual thing. So you got to roast it up there and then do it again before you can actually get that. So that's not really good. You can grow mushrooms. You can farm bird meat with a bird catcher on there, but you still got to cook the mushrooms. The bird meat. You still got to cook it. That's 2-step process just to get the same thing that the alcohol does on a 1-step process. You're putting onion, a raw potato, and water. Bam. That's why I had to go through that and show you that, because food and water is a good thing. 100 food, 100 water with a heal. But there you go. That's the only thing you really need in this game, unless they changed it and update it and say, hey, now you get drunk, and then that would suck, because getting drunk would be a bad visual effects and staggering and all that kind of crap just for your food. I wouldn't like that myself. I wouldn't like to see that happen on there. But if they did do that, then you're stuck, making fish stew and stuff like that, which would really suck. Maybe the birds might be a little bit better to do if you're going to build a food. 100 and 100, it reduces hunger and thirst rate, it restores hydration and food levels, and makes you swim better. 50 energy and 50, I think that's 50 health too. So 50 health and energy. That's better for healing. So that's why fish stew could be good for healing too. So we're just going to go over top of that. So yeah, if they change that later on, because this is for future updates. If they change it, you might want to go and catch birds and grow mushrooms. They're pretty easy to grow and to do that, so you don't have to cook one thing and worry about fishing a lot, because fishing can be a pain on there. I don't have any fishing. I took it apart. It takes too long to make, so that will save you the most time at the end of the day for that. So that is it for the starting guide and tips. Just inventory space, manage that. Get over to you're over here to make the base as quickly as possible, and then if you want to be fancy and do your own thing and find the most defensible base, you can go ahead and try the Eden Island over here, and just be defensible that way. But you can stick your little base anywhere you want. I just recommend you doing it here at the trader spot, because that'll just save you so much time and energy, especially when you want to start making your own guns for yourself. And I want to make a nice little rifle here, and I want a scope on it and stuff like that, because you can't really attach a scope in this game anymore to any guns that you might find, and everything you find is going to be broken, and you got to take it apart and get the parts anyway. So yeah, just get all this stuff ready to go for yourself and do that. And of course, landmines are really good. Sometimes they regenerate. I said before on some other videos that they just regenerate all the time, but I think I lost a couple on this last attack. Usually they just regenerate and respawn, but I think I had more over here, and they're gone now. So some of them might be gone forever, but yeah, they are really nice and handy to do. One of the new things that they add in this game is those naval mines, which are very, very handy. A nice big explosion radius, and sometimes they will just regenerate, or they regenerate most of the time. But I can't guarantee it, because this game is so buggy. There's lots of exploits in this game. If you really want to ruin your game and do the exploits, watch the exploits videos that I have, and you can do that. And I did that after I had all the stuff I needed for myself. But yeah, exploited it out there and showing you I got 20 of these electrolyte furnaces, and I got some extra wind turbines in there, and I'm using a lot of extra. I've only built 2 of them myself. All the other stuff is by copying it and making more, and then you can deconstruct them and get the parts that you use to craft them. But deconstruction in this game is only 50% of the resources, but you can box stuff up. You can craft this box right away. You just need the one box, and you pack anything up, and it's really handy to use, but it just doesn't work on your frames and stuff like that. So be careful where you put your frames in this game and your structures, because if you take them apart, you only get half the resources back if you demolish it. So yeah, worry about that, because that's a huge resource sink when you're building stuff, because when you go there and use 8 for your metal foundations, you only get 4 back. Oh, I misplaced it. No, you just lost half your resources. It adds up, and it's that will sacrifice your time, and you want to save as much time as possible on this for yourself. But there you have it. For this starting guide. So hopefully some of these tips and advice and showing you how to do all this stuff will help you out at the start, because that's where you need the help, is at the start. The rest of it, you can go ahead and use the exploits or not, and yeah, I would recommend not using them until later. But yeah, to each his own at least. But yeah, I don't want to spoil the game for you on this part right here. So yeah, you have to do extra work if you actually want to find out what those exploits are. But I recommend not doing that right away. As soon as you get bored of the attacks on your base, and as soon as you get bored of taking over all of these islands all the time, then you might have to worry about that. And I didn't mention taking over the islands, but when I should have done that right away. Sorry about that. The last thing that we're going to do is cover. Go ahead and get that recipe right away. The scrap metal spear right off the bat. As fast as possible, get that recipe. Backpacks first priority, second priority is that. So you can craft this here faction flag right here, a scrap metal spear. And it just takes that and some cloth. It gets used up, but that's why you see all these flags everywhere on the map. That faction flag will stop spawns. the spawns. It only works on the islands with people with names on it. So one of the things I forgot to mention also at the start is that you see the small island over there beside the starting island. That's not a real island. If you put a faction flag on there, it doesn't stop the spawns, and there's going to be some cannibals and stuff like that on that island, or mutants or whatever they're called on that island. That will keep respawning every day. Doesn't matter if you have a faction flag on there or built a base right on top of it, because I did. I built a base right there, right on top of it, because I wanted to do my own thing, and it didn't work out because the guys just kept on respawning and annoying me. They were like easy to kill, of course, you know, just little mutants with like no weapons, but it still got annoying. I enjoyed the free food that they kept on respawning, but not the mutants themselves. But yeah, that's what the faction flags do. You go over there, I kill everybody on the island, then you can drop a faction flag, build what you want on there. On any of these islands, you can start building after you cleared it out there and put that flag on there for yourself. But it stops spawns. That's what it's for. Blocking the spawns so you can go back there and farm. All the loot in this game will regenerate slowly over time, and that's represented by the percentage. And it's how much percentage is looted. So you see these islands right here. There's 2% looted. That is the vaults, basically, right? I looted the vaults, and everything else is regenerated so far. The school right there, 0%. That means the vault has regenerated on that one there. It takes a long time for the vaults to regenerate, but they do regenerate. So the school is at 0%. So I can go over there and get that, find the bubbles, and get that good recipe on there for myself, and see if I get a new recipe or not. But I think I'm stuck on have to go to the outside edges. But unfortunately, if you didn't know. Lots of the underwater stuff I think is gone from the outer edges. There used to be more on the outer edges for harder underwater stuff. There's still a couple like the amusement park. The police station is now a harder zone way over here, and that's a good place to go, by the way. Green Island, then the police station over here. It's very deep. There's a couple sharks, but there is a lot of police cars under the water there, and some other loots for. That's where you go to get free ammo for your guns and shotguns and stuff like that, and gun parts and anything like that. So that's a good place to loot underwater. If you can just take care of the sharks. They don't hurt you very much, and killing the sharks is just, you know, they're coming at you, you just side pedal and then smack them, and then just keep doing that, and they just, you know, they slowly run around there. You can be safe by going to the surface on the sharks. So yeah, just remember that. If you're swimming on the surface, the sharks won't bother you. You dive down there, they'll come towards you. They're not super fast or anything like that, and just whack them a few times until they're dead. That's simple. You know, at the end of the day. We should go over recommended weapons in this game. Of course, you want to do the best weapon that you can at the start. You know, you get the serrated axes and stuff. The iron axe does the most damage for stuff, but it's very slow and stamina consuming. That's why I'm using the machete, because it does logging and it does attack value, and it's very fast. And the iron axe does not help you with smashing underwater, smashing any of the objects in there that are made of wood, unfortunately. So using the axe is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swings later, all your stamina is gone, and it still takes it's by hit. So when you're killing things underwater, you know, when you're killing things for like, you know, what do you kill, like sofas? You sofas and like whatever, and benches and chairs and shit like that, and tables. Oh, you're hacking them and slashing them. You like, you know, the big axe will drain like all your stamina, but this thing is really fast. So the faster your attacks, the better for breaking stuff apart for your easy wood, and sometimes there's clothing items inside them. So yeah, you never know what you're going to get for a bonus item out of breaking wood and stuff, but it's not really a good thing to do. But that is enough. That's enough information for you today. Been talking pretty fast, so yeah, hopefully you can catch all that information. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.